W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we do like and an L to the things that we don't. I think you went last week, so I'll go first this week. Okay. Let's start off with my dubs. First dub goes to Ohio State wide receiver coach Brian Hartline.
I'm glad.
He was able to get not one, not two, but three receivers back to back to back.
No.
Started off with Garrett Wilson getting drafted at number 10.
Sure.
Chris Olave gets drafted at number 11.
Sure.
And then Jameson Williams gets drafted at number 12.
Jameson Williams is not his wide receiver.
All right, man.
Like it's not even cool to do this, yo. Like it's weird. It's lesser. You have enough. It's very odd to keep trying to do this. Like it was joking with when y'all said it about Joe Burrow. Like
was it?
It's funny, and you know Joe Burrow's a real Buckeye.
Was it?
But like now I feel like y'all are dead ass serious about Jameson Williams. I'm trying to pull up the stats. Hold on. From last year, his season.
I mean, at some level though, he played for 2 years with Ohio State.
No.
Can I not at least give Brian Hartline some credit?
Josh. 15 catches for 266 yards at Ohio State. 79 catches for 1,500 yards.
Okay.
So the first round wide receiver that just got drafted happened at Bama.
Sure.
Not at Ohio State.
Sure.
There's no one's getting drafted. I don't care how fucking fast you are, how highly recruited you are, how glowing the recommendation from Brian Hartline it is. You're not getting top 10, top 15 for 15 catches
I'm not
for 266.
only giving Brian Hartline credit, but we can't.
You're not only giving Brian Hartline. Who else did you credit for Jameson Williams just now when you was talking?
Well, obviously, I have to give him credit in this case because I'm also giving him credit for. I'm giving him credit for not just Jameson Williams, but also Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson.
It's not enough to have 2 first-round wide receivers. You got to take the one who transferred.
I mean, 2 of your 3 years in the NCAA.
So much more success at another school. You cannot claim
I'm giving you full credit for Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, and a slight partial credit for Jameson Williams.
I don't know how we can say that.
2 out of the 3 years?
So let me ask you something. Marvin Harrison has had similar stats at Ohio State so far.
Yes.
If Marvin Harrison transfers out, goes to Miami, and has a 1,500-yard season, you going to tell me he owes that to Ohio State?
I didn't say Jameson Williams owes everything to Ohio State. I'm just saying you spent 2 out of the 3 years at Ohio State. At some level, Brian Hartline coached you.
Sure.
And developed you.
He did coach and develop. He didn't make you the 1,500-yard wide receiver.
Didn't say that.
Because you wouldn't have transferred. You'd have been right there at Ohio State getting that 1,500, right?
Sure.
So,
didn't say he deserves all the credit. I'm saying that now, at least.
That was literally my first L, was for people trying to claim Jameson Williams as the third Ohio. Like, even so far as I'm hearing it on ESPN as the draft is happening.
Well, this is why I'm giving Brian Hartline specifically the dub as opposed to Ohio State receivers. Because he's very clearly, he didn't leave an Ohio State receiver. He left an Alabama receiver.
Here's the thing, right? So you have a packed wide receiver room, right? And so when you have NFL talent at the top of that list, unfortunately, when you are competing for championships, that is where your attention goes, right? Your freshmen, your studded young guys who haven't necessarily broken out yet, you're continuing to wait until they show you something that warrants your attention. So if Jameson Williams, having the stats that we just talked about, got to the point where he was transferring out of Ohio State before he ever had any modicum of a success, I'm willing to bet that Brian Hartline and Jameson Williams probably weren't the perfect fit as position coach and wide receiver. Otherwise, Jameson Williams would probably still be there.
I think it has to do with him maybe prioritizing other receivers.
Okay, and even if that's the case, you're saying that those other receivers are better than Jameson Williams. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the decision that you're making. So if that's the case, at that point, Jameson Williams wasn't that guy. He is that guy this year. Yeah. He was that guy at Alabama.
He was the third guy.
Where?
In the draft. Out of the 3.
he was a first round wide receiver. That's enough for me.
After 2 from Ohio State.
Okay, do 9 and 10 get paid that much more than what did he get drafted at, like 12?
10 and 11 versus 12. I get that they obviously get paid very similarly, and so it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter at all from Jameson Williams' standpoint. I guess what I'm saying is
he's a top 15 draft pick. He was barely outside of the lottery. Like
I agree.
He's there. He's every bit as talented and heralded as Olave and Garrett Wilson.
Sure, but I guess in the sense of Brian Hartline deciding to prioritize them, it would seem that he made the better decision in the case that they got drafted before him.
Or Jameson Williams has 1 year of dominance. Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave have 2 to 3 apiece.
I would agree with that too.
So I would agree with that too. And that comes from Brian Hartline choosing them and Jackson Smith-Njigba over Jameson Williams. Which, if we interchange either one of those wide receivers, are we going to say he made the wrong decision?
No. Because Jackson Smith-Njigba is probably going to be the first receiver picked in the next draft.
Yeah, so... Like if we keep Jameson Williams and move Chris Olave over to Alabama, I don't think there's much of a difference.
I agree. Also, Brian Hartline decided to tweet in support of David Bell getting drafted, which he should be drafted within the first 3 rounds, especially after what he did to some of the Big Ten teams. And then literally, I think like within 5 picks of that, David Bell got picked by the Browns, which is
David Bell.
Yeah, which is interesting. My next and last dub, by default, unfortunately, in this case, goes to none other than Bhad Bhabie or Bhad Bhabie. I don't know how she pronounces it, but I keep hearing other people pronounce it differently.
I thought we just talked about him. That was Bad Bunny.
Yeah. No, this is the Cash Me Outside girl.
Cash Me Outside.
Catch me outside. How about that?
So we talked about when she joined OnlyFans sometime last year, which is absolutely nuts because she had just turned 18 and then she turns this crazy profit. And then so I guess maybe it's probably been a year at least since then. And it turns out that in her year of using OnlyFans, she has made plus $52 million plus on OnlyFans, which is absolutely wild.
My God, what does she even have that's worth that, y'all?
You know what's
she have
crazy about this?
That?
You know what's crazy about all this? From what I hear, because I don't do the OnlyFans thing, she is not posting anything nude or anything like that on there. She's just posting provocative pics.
So like booty shorts and stuff, like twerking and stuff?
She might have like a bra pic on there or something like that, but she's not posting
ask again,
anything crazy.
Horny MFers. What do she even have? And the fact that it came so quickly means y'all was waiting, which is sick.
1,000%.
Means that there was a level of anticipation that was building for this girl to turn 18 so that y'all could lust after her.
Wild.
It's
wild.
52 million.
She literally made $1 million a week. $1 million a week. She's probably made more from OnlyFans than any of her music.
Oh, no, without question. Without question.
In a year.
It's not even a probably. She made $52 million in 1 year. There's absolutely no shot that she's ever made anything close to that on her music.
I don't know. She had a couple hits.
No.
Yeah, just nasty work. And it seems like, okay, so she posted like, I guess the analytics from what she's made. And like most of it wasn't just from the subscriptions themselves. It was from like
the tips and stuff like that.
Well, not even from the tips. I think the tips were like third. I think it was the subscription, or I'm sorry. The first thing was she was making them from like messages, which I guess you pay extra for specific messages. And then from there, then it was the subscriptions, and then it was the tips afterwards. Like a lion's share. I think it was like 25 million from just messages.
Saying some wild shit in the messages, boy.
Something's got to be going down in the DMs.
Shit in the messages.
Or maybe what she posts isn't like nudes, and then the messages are
the nudes.
Could be.
I mean,
just think
it ain't gonna be very long before she gets screen recorded and they put it out on the internet if that's just what she is doing. But at that point, what do you even need to hide it for? It's OnlyFans. Like, that's literally what this shit for. So,
well, because you want, I don't know. I was gonna say you want them to pay for that shit, but then I guess if it gets leaked out anyway,
if
it
they
doesn't
already
really matter.
on OnlyFans, then they paying for it.
Yeah, but you want them to pay for the messages, right? You give them bullshit on the timeline.
I'm
and
sorry,
you
I'm
want them
not
to pay for the messages.
into internet booty hustle. I ain't got it.
Well, that's just typical online hustle. It ain't gotta be. You give them the free shit on YouTube, for example, and then you make them pay for like the premium shit.
Right. I'm okay. So if her content on OnlyFans is bra and panty pics, and then in her private messages she's sending naked pics, what is the point? Why can't you just have them pay for the naked pics on the OnlyFans page the way that everyone else is?
Well, because then you're doubling your money at that point, because you would make them pay for the subscription.
You don't even have nothing.
Oh, now that look, I'm not buying her.
Like, I
her
think she's a little
OnlyFans.
busty now, but like,
I'm not paying for her OnlyFans, so I can't tell you for sure what's going on here. But I would think that
$52 million.
Yeah, the messages are probably where the nudes are. But if they're getting leaked at that point, then you probably wouldn't be making as much. But I don't know what's going on, bruh.
Y'all think I can sell pictures of my feet for money? What y'all think?
There's probably not as big of a market, but there's probably a market of gay men at that point who would
Damn,
buy.
dog, so the women don't want my feet?
Nah.
That kink doesn't go the other way?
I don't think it does. I
don't want to meet the woman who's addicted to feet.
You know what I mean?
Fetish. Like,
that's wild. Men's feet be busted as fuck. I know, because I have busted fucking feet.
Big toe. Give it here.
You know what I mean?
No, don't put no lotion on. Let me see.
That is wild. Absolutely wild.
Come here, baby. Let me eat the dead skin off your foot.
I am uncomfortable with this conversation. Let's move on, shall we?
Super gremlin. That woman is treacherous. Stay away.
That's a fact.
Stay away.
I don't think that's how it works, bro. I'm just throwing that out there.
Demon time. Dubs. I'm giving a dub to the potential of student loan forgiveness.
Hey,
seems like Biden is waking up from his long nap of the first 2 years of his presidency and realizing that they haven't done anything, and people are pretty upset
and don't like him.
The one thing that they could cancel without pissing off too big of an apparatus would be canceling student debt. Certainly not anything with healthcare or reparations, anything like that. But it'll piss the least amount of people off. Plus, he's probably going to put all of the type of means testing and only certain type of loans, this, that, and the third, yada yada yada. But I know that even that could be something transformative for a lot of people, getting whatever it is he decides to give, whether it's 10, 20,000, whatever, forgiven. It's going to give him a bump, and he's going to be able to sit up there and rant and rave about it all the way to the midterms, just like he did about those checks. All right, when he needed y'all to go out and vote for Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. So, there's a part of me that is like, I don't know if we'll get it. The difference, though, is that the last time we were in this situation, he needed something from us before he could deliver.
Yeah.
And then he didn't. Right now, he absolutely needs to deliver, or else, it's just going to be a very, very red midterm. Yeah.
Yep.
Very red midterm. So, at least he's signaling that he hears something other than the sound of his own snores.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs to make a play, because is he still polling under Trump right now?
Yes. And apparently him and Kamala is feuding. They don't like to be around each other. He dismisses her. Surprise, surprise.
I was going to say that they had beef before the election.
Surprise. Oh, and his wife fucking hates her. The first lady hates the vice president because she called him out for obvious contradictions in his political past, and then had to walk it back and kiss the ring, because that was never going to go wrong, huh, Kamala? He was never going to make you pay for that, was he? Embarrassing that white man on a national stage. How dare you? But yeah, student loan forgiveness, maybe.
Let's hope. I mean, you might as well at this point because you just keep pushing it back anyway.
So, kind of sticking with some political news. I'm very politically heavy today. My dubs and L's. There was a report that was released last week about Bernie Sanders not ruling out a run in 2024.
Okay.
And seeing as how I've been genuinely disinterested in anything that has had to do with politics for the last 6 years or so. Well, I won't say disinterested, but just totally disaffected, because the party by which our people choose or are most effective in trying to operate change or try to elevate has shown that we are nothing more than tools or pawns for them.
Especially with this last election.
Yeah, for political gain. Like they care nothing. We are truly just the token that they hold, right? And I don't think it should be like that necessarily. I understand that, that it's two sides of the same coin, right? One of them is just blatantly racist, and the other one likes to put their arm around you while they stab you in the back. Which
probably prompts a discussion on what people like more, but I think a lot of people want to see that in their face so that they know what's coming.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going to go work with Republicans because they're openly hostile to black people. So it's just not a good fit there. But I'm also not capitulating to the woes of Democrats. So if you come around here talking about, we need you to vote, we're gonna lose, then you just gonna lose.
Or you ain't black if you don't vote.
You gonna lose, fam. Don't come over here talking that shit. But the reason why the Bernie thing interested me is because, again, I look across the Democratic landscape. I fear for Joe Biden against Trump in another general election. I do. I fear for, wasn't it when we first started this term that Biden wasn't going to run again and that it was going to be Kamala who was elevated?
That's what I've heard.
Wasn't that the plan?
Yep.
Nobody's mad? You're not pissed? You're not upset? First black woman vice president, and now she's getting welched on the deal just like her and Joe Biden have welched on every deal they made with the American people? Nobody's mad? Here's how Bernie Sanders could earn a vote from me in 2024. Because he's going to be old as shit. He's going to be very old, but I can tell you how he can earn my vote. So Bernie Sanders has a very concise platform, right? And he runs it back every time he runs for president. It's the same things. Medicare for all, free college, federal jobs guarantee. That's his thing, right?
He's going to be 82.
Yeah, he's going to be old as shit. He needs to drop free college. And the reason why is that more of us are starting to realize that college is not the best way to go to start making wealth immediately or start gaining generational wealth, or, well, not to say that it's not a good way to start on that road, but you usually end up putting yourself in an exorbitant amount of debt doing so, in which delays the whole American dream part of your what's supposed to be postgraduate life. So it's not all that it's cooped up to be, and I think people are starting to smell that. And so college attendance is down. I think it's going to continue to drop because the prices for college continue to go up, while the realization of how effectively a college degree with no work experience will actually get you a job in the real world.
That's because the rules aren't the same as they were some time ago.
Sure. So that's why I suggest that he drops free college. And plus, if you are already going to be using Medicare for all as your spearhead, you've got one apparatus that you're going to have to fight to the death. Like there's no exceptions. You're going to have to kill him. The American insurance apparatus in America is going to have to be rooted out like a weed. We can't spray Roundup on it and try to minimalize them. We can't have them run a for-profit system within our Medicare system. They have to be rooted out because their entire business model is corrupt. They leverage people's health problems to give them money. They have to be rooted out at the stem.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fight that battle and fight colleges, universities, loaners, banks. It's just not. You got to pick.
You got to choose one, and you got to probably choose the easier of the two.
And here's how you go after them. On it. You tie it to reparations. Right? Bernie Sanders makes his arguments about Medicare for all very empirically. It's all statistics and facts with a sprinkle of emotion over top of it, sprinkle of morality at the end of it. But it is all factual. This amount of people go uninsured. This amount of people die every year because they're uninsured. This is what Canada does. This is what Sweden does. This is what Denmark does. This is how much Sweden, Denmark, and Canada spend. This is how much we spend per capita. Pretty damn good argument for Medicare for all, right? Black Americans in this country, besides the fact of them having their language, culture, and just general history stripped from them and brought to a foreign land so that they can be cheap labor, so that they can be the product and the currency. Set all that aside. After slavery was abolished, the land that they were owed, the 40 acres and a mule, never came to pass, right? The GI Bill was also another way in which Black Americans were defrauded out of their wealth. Redlining, right? When owning homes first began to be the avenue by which the majority of the American elevating class, right? The people who eventually ended up being on top, how they started, they strategically kept Black people out of it. Mm-hmm. Jim Crow laws, educational separation. Mm-hmm. Right, the list goes on. Reconstruction goes on and on and on and on and on and on, and all of it points back to a deviation of wealth.
Yeah,
all of it, and you can draw those same exact comparisons the way you can about Medicare for all. You can do the same thing because we live in a country who sends white Zionist Jewish people who have Jewish faith back over to Israel to live and to cultivate land that they never owned on America's dime. We do that. We pay white people to go to Israel, white people who are Jewish, to go to Israel and live in homes that were not previously theirs. We pay American Indians, right? The Native Americans. We gave them land. But it ain't no more of that to give out. And unfortunately, because we've been robbed so much of it, that would be the hardest thing to get back is the land. So cut me the check. Bernie Sanders is a guy who can hammer that message home. And if he ties Medicare for all into a reparations bill and puts Black people at the forefront, but includes everybody else as well in Medicare for all, that is how you get it done. Build Back Better was a miniature version of what I'm suggesting. So if Build Back Better got 70% approval rating, imagine something that centered Black people. Build Back Better got all of those got all that support because it affected people who don't have the resources to affect change themselves, right? Child tax credit, paid family leave, raised to the minimum wage. All of that shit helped normal, ordinary people.
Yep.
So if I'm coming to you and I'm making a deal and I said, I'm going to get you all of that. And not only am I going to get you that, I'm going to make sure that you don't have any more medical bills. Yeah, our taxes are going to change. But you are not going to have to come out of your pocket when you go to the doctor. You're not going to have to come out of your pocket when you need your prescription. You're not going to have to come out of your pocket when you need a procedure done. Right? I can give you that. We just have to pay them what we owe. Here's what we owe them. Here's how it was taken from them. We should give it back so that we can move on from it. Bernie Sanders is a guy who can massage that message. Shout out to Marcus Farewell. I've seen him on Benjamin Dixon's show a lot. We follow him on Twitter, actually. And he was the first guy I seen bring up this argument, right? That you could link Medicare for all and reparations in a bill together. Mm-hmm. And I believe that's the course of action. He's got to do something different. If he does come back out, you can't march out the same playbook and think it's going to give you a different result.
Mm-hmm.
If he runs again, he has to destroy the competition. He has to be so far out ahead that people can't lie about it.
Yeah.
He was clearly the leader because they all dropped out to culminate against him. But it wasn't definitive enough for him to stave it off.
I think that's interesting because even in losing the very first time, his message was very evident in all the other candidates in the second go around. Mm. So if he does go further, and even if he loses, that rhetoric will probably spread throughout the elections to come after that.
Because I mean, look what they've done now. Bernie Sanders has been railing about student loans for the longest time. Mm-hmm. For the longest time. And so all of a sudden we start putting together Build Back Better, and we're hearing, chirps about some student loan forgiveness being included. We're hearing some chirps about Medicare expansion.
They get their progressive talking points from Bernie Sanders directly.
Absolutely.
And so if he goes even further, they'll continue to get there.
They'll float further.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got to be able to take the swing, man. You got to have the balls. So
for sure.
If he does run, reparations should be on the table. Next dub I got is going out to Rick Ross for explaining the mysterious exit from the 85 South show.
Wait, so this is a dub?
It's a dub to me because only somebody like Rick Ross could get away with something like this.
It has to be some ridiculously fantastical explanation.
Fam, he said he got to the bathroom, smoked, and then left. As if he wasn't even at the show. Like, as if he wasn't doing anything. Like, he said, man, I just got... You ever just be zoned? I was just in that zone and I got a money call, so I had to leave. I'm like, bro.
Yep. That is the answer I'm expecting from Rick Ross.
That's like, I start playing the game, right? I start playing 2K. Mm-hmm. And then I get distracted because MJ's doing something. Right? That's basically what Rick Ross just said about 85 South. Is that I got distracted and I banged out on y'all. 3 grown-ass men?
Which is wild as fuck. But again...
That's nuts. And the fact that they couldn't even be mad at it lets me know that that's a boss move. It's got to be a boss. Well, everybody except for DC Youngfly. DC Youngfly want to know the truth. But that probably literally was the truth, bro. Smoked some Zod in the bathroom. Spaced out. Somebody was like, yeah, blah, 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 money. And he was like, okay, all right, I'm on my way.
My thing is, Rick Ross might be one of the best cappers in the game. Like, he just says some shit that has to do with, I had to make some boss moves.
But he make it sound so good. Make it sound so good.
He's lying about some shit, but he says it in such a way that it's just like,
it makes sense.
I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, has he ever explained his whole stint as a security officer at a penitentiary?
Hey, man, I would love to hear that explanation.
Because it's just going to be like, a hustler got to make moves. So, as a boss, I had to make sure that even though I was flipping weight, that at the same time, like, come on, bro, you capping, but
you gotta control all aspects of the game. You understand? I track my enemies all the way to the grave. So that means if you get locked up, I come and checking you in there too, nigga.
Yeah, I can see that. Followed by a
and then niggas be like, oh, what? Hey, that's some real shit. That's some real killer shit. Like me, because I'll be like, hey, that's some real killer shit. Yo, Ross is real.
Oh man, no, he a capper though.
He's probably capping. I don't have to take my first L because you cleared it up already.
Okay. Shout out Brian Hartline.
Sticking with the political theme. No, stop. The political theme of this week's Dubs and Nails, I'm going to give an L out to the progressives in Congress right now. And I'm going to call out some specifically. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ayanna Presley, Pramila Jayapal, Roy Akana. All of the greatest hits of quote-unquote progressives in Congress. Mm-hmm. Now, we know Nina Turner in the next couple of weeks is going to be having a tight race here against the incumbent, Chantel Brown. We know that Nina Turner is going up against super PAC money, oil mogul money. We know the type of competitor that Shontel Brown is. Again, remind you that she was running in this race while she was leading the Democratic Party in Cleveland. She was overseeing and running in the race at the same time. Just repeat that stuff to you a couple of times because according to Shontel Brown, there is nothing improper about it.
No conflict of interest at all.
No conflict of interest. Not to mention, she was currently, we don't know if it's currently because she won't answer it, but she was under an ethics violation while all of that was going on, while she was running for her seat. For giving state contracts or city contracts to somebody that she was sleeping with at the time.
Sheesh.
So, with all that being said, and the fact that she's still there and she's still in the seat, and she herself has joined the Progressive Caucus, Shontel Brown meaning.
Of course.
You think we've gotten endorsements from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
Absolutely not.
Or Ro Khanna, or Ayanna Presley, or from Jayapal, or Ilhan Omar for that instance.
Well, AOC is too busy flirting with Elon Musk.
Hey, look. You know what? If you a celebrity now, AOC, that's fine. I'm going to treat you like one. See, I used to treat you as an ally of the people. But see, you seem to be a little bit more wrapped up into playing political games with Pelosi and Schumer and going to the Met Gala with your virtue signal dress on. I get it. I get it, man. You get next to all that money and boy, you just start acting different. Don't expect me to act the next time I see you or the next time that you try to introduce yourself into one of these spaces as one of us, no. That shit's dead. It's over with. You're one of them now. And your lack of support for Nina Turner lets me know that you're one of them. It means you standing in lockstep doing exactly what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will treat you as such from now on. Let's talk about Meg.
Meg?
Let's talk about Meg.
The Stallion?
I seen some more of that interview with Gayle.
Okay.
I also saw her response to people responding to her interview with Gayle.
Okay.
This motherfucker can say this and do a live stream and this, and I can't go on Gayle King and say nothing. Fuck y'all. Meg, allow me to elaborate. You can go on with anybody you want to, even Gayle King, if that's who you decide to go on with. Obviously, there are problems with Gayle King. I think you should know that, and I think you know what the optics of that pairing look like. So let's hold with the whole victim part, not as in you being assaulted. That part, you're a victim. This part, though, in terms of the backlash for doing business with Gayle King, you know exactly how people feel about Gayle King.
And if she doesn't, somebody behind her does.
So y'all made a conscious decision to go sit down with Gayle King. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, oh, we'll just take anybody and Gayle showed up. That's not how that happened.
Nope.
Stop that. Next stop that, she asked, because I saw more of the interview, she asked her directly, were you and Tory in a sexual relationship? Now, before I tell you what the fuck she said, has Kelsey confirmed that she was having sex with Tory and Meg at the same time? Or she was having sex with the same time that Meg was?
Mm-hmm.
Has Tory Lanez confirmed that he was having sex with the both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Has Megan Thee Stallion, outside of this fuck-ass interview with Gayle King, confirmed that Tory Lanez was having sex with both of y'all?
Yep.
Why would you ever get on TV and say that you was not having sex with Tory Lanez? Like, it wasn't even convincing, Megan. It looks like you made the decision to say that you weren't fucking Tory right then in real time. Like, I literally watched the wheels turn. You mean like sexually? Yes, Megan. Sexually. Was y'all fucking? You done already told me. She's only asking you because all of y'all been talking about it already.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What? Look, man. Look. You're not going to make no asshole out of me. You're not gonna make no asshole out of me. I'm fine with protecting black women, and I'm fine with dealing with the facts. And the facts is that somebody in that car shot Megan Thee Stallion. Yes. And they didn't say that Tory Lanez didn't have no gunpowder on him. They didn't say that it wasn't none of his DNA on the gun. The results were inconclusive. That just means it wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. That's what inconclusive means. That there wasn't enough to match a sample.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Y'all watch so much goddamn Law and Order. I guess y'all only watch halfway through the episodes. Somebody got shot in there, and most of the evidence points towards Tory Lanez. That doesn't change because she told a lie. What changes is public perception. You only went on with Gayle King to garner this type of public. You wanted the public favor. Mm-hmm. You can't have the public favor and you lying about stuff that you already told us. Don't do that to me, bro. Don't make me fucking defend your ass and you out here fucking lying about shit that you've already confirmed.
That really have no bearing into what actually happened.
No consequence whatsoever, Meg. If you was getting bust down while your friend was getting bust down, it don't matter. That doesn't mean you should get shot. Keep it funky. Just keep it real. Yeah, you know, me and Tory were talking, and in the midst of that, he decided that he wanted to pursue my friend. That puts all the onus back on him. Gayle King is going to be ultra sympathetic to your plight. Oh, man, that's so terrible. Did you care about him? No, but I just expected a little bit more respect. God damn it, if he wouldn't have burned off of that, every woman in America would have lined up behind you. We got you, sis. Niggas ain't shit.
All of that.
But no, you chose to come out and lie about something that has already been talked about by all three of you. Not just rumors. All three of you have spoken on it already. It just baffled me. Like, what are you trying to hold back? You mean sexually? No, I wanted to know if y'all was pen pals. I wanted to know if y'all played fucking Minecraft. Yes. I cannot. I don't know. I don't understand why she would lie about that.
Yeah, no, like you said, it casts doubt on your entire story, which I already have doubt from literally both sides of this whole thing. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait until everything comes out. Because nothing they're telling us lines up.
It doesn't make any sense, man. Like, yeah, you know, I wouldn't have cared if you was fucking on no girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. If I ain't want my nigga around a bitch, best believe he wouldn't be there. I'm sorry, what? No, those are your lines, right? Those are your lyrics. Now march them lyrics back out to Meg Thee Stallion. Since that's what we do in court now, we hold rappers accountable for the things they say in their bars. If I didn't want my man, you wouldn't be there. If I didn't want my man around a woman, you wouldn't be there. Something like that. Who's your man? What? But I thought no hanky panky. I just don't understand why she would lie about that after she's already said that it happened.
Yeah. But both of them are making questionable moves.
Give us your thoughts. Give us your dubs and nails in the comments below. Tell us what you thought. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And make sure you check out our previous dubs and nails in the video below, in the playlist below as well. And make sure you subscribe. Like you said, we like to do this every Wednesday, so make sure you check it out.